there were only a couple good people in this movie. You had Bruce Wayne, Batman, and you had Alfred. Those are the only two good white people. The rest of the three other major players that I would consider like overall like moral good people were, you had Jim Gordon, who's black in this. You had Catwoman, who's not white in this. And then you had the mayor, who's a black woman. Again, very much on the nose for current day Hollywood. Did not like that. Took a little bit off the...
Hold on, I got a Ku Klux Klan member on my page. Let me block this Ku Klux Klan member. Nobody's scared of y'all no more. Fuck out of here.
But I don't care. I don't think Russia is going to quote unquote invade. Look, Russia is not going to invade Ukraine. This is a smokescreen, of course. And Joe Biden wants you staring directly at it. Russian military forces have now reportedly received orders from Putin to invade Ukraine. Here's a weird thing to me. If he's told them to attack, what are they waiting for? Right? If he said to attack...
She got more of Bruce's blood in her, so that's why she looks more like him. And she has the super serum. You're stupid! We're gonna tell you to go touch grass. We're gonna tell you have internalized misogyny. We're gonna say all these terrible things about you, you're resorting to using comics. Oh my god, you're so stupid. Anna, she's injected with the super serum. You're stupid for posting this, She didn't use her brain, apparently. Used her fucking brain because she uses this thing inside of her head called a brain. Oh yeah, she's got this thing called a fucking brain because she uses her fucking brain. She used this thing inside her head called a brain. It's by exercising your mind. Muscle doesn't last forever. And yes, neither does your brain, but your brain's gonna last a lot longer than your biceps are. She's able to do the thing that no man can do, which is climb up the pole and get the arrow. And you know how she does that? She doesn't do that by bulking up. She does that by using her brain. Bam! Mind fucking blown, right? If you want to show this to young kids and little girls, you're going to give them such bad, body, images and what is it called? Body dysmorphia.
At the beginning of the third episode, Clint, of course, is duct taped to a unicorn because we can't go 5 minutes without subtly or not so subtly emasculating a man on a Disney Plus show.
He calls me one night at like 1 in the morning. I happen to have people, I'm just fucking obliterated. And it's Mark, so I'm like, I got to answer it. It's the first time he's ever called me. And so I go out in the garage, and I'm smoking a cigarette while I'm talking to him. He can hear me smoking. He's like, oh, you smoke? I'm like, oh, I felt judged a little bit. And then I had to piss so bad, but there was like music and everything else going on in the house. So I just start pissing in a bucket. Like there's a 5-gallon bucket in my garage. I just start pissing in a bucket, and a dude comes out. My buddy comes out. He's like, what the fuck? You're pissing in the garage? All I hear is like a 10-second silence from Mark. Mark's like, do you need me to call you? Do you want to call me back? I'm like, no, he's just joking. He's just joking. I'm not really pissing in my garage.
Why do you keep pissing in random parts of your fucking house, man?
Green Goblin kills Aunt May. Before she dies, though, she's able to deliver Uncle Ben's line, with great power comes great responsibility. And, ooh, man, did I have a problem with this. Listen, it worked in the film, but this is a tiny smidge of the MCU. Yes, it is, because Hollywood has shown over the last couple of years, and Marvel in particular this year, that they have a big problem with male mentors. But this is where the...
Now, do you have any opinions on it? Do you think America should intervene?
No, of course not. I'm over America World Police. When the U.S. plays World Police, I hate it. I just hate it in general. I don't want to be involved in any of this stuff. And I don't know that I'm willing to... I'm willing to hear a moral reason for it, okay? But I don't know if I'm going to be convinced. Known as the Budapest Memorandum. The implication was Ukraine would not be let to stand alone and face a threat should it come under one. So I think that this does put... Now, while I hate that, I hate being the world police, this is a promise we made. And if we don't keep our promise, then why would anyone else be worried? Any of our other allies, that we've sworn to protect, Why would they feel like we're going to protect them? I've said since the beginning, and I stand by that, that I don't want the U.S. involved in this at all in any way, shape, or form. None. Let Europe deal with it. I think Biden's using this to distract the American people from how disastrous his presidency's been. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't all in it together, to be honest with you. This is like a win-win. American people stop talking about inflation and the lockdowns and mandates, and they talk about Russia, and then Putin gets to look strong. Everybody wins, except for, of course, the American people. President Joe Biden had agreed, quote, in principle to meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in a summit aimed to staving off the largest military conflict in Europe since World War II. Let me ask, though, why? Why is Joe Biden meeting with him? What business is it of Joe Biden's? Maybe there's energy companies over there. Maybe there were promises made. I don't know. You know, I'm relatively new to covering politics, and, you know, the geopolitical scene is one that you have to have studied for a long time to know all the intricate reasons. But I'm just a, like, bumpkin here in the Midwest thinking, like, bro, just stay out of it, you know? If I'm in Ukraine, I probably feel like Joe Biden is escalating things. That Joe Biden's involvement with this is really why it's happening in the first place. As Joe Biden appeared in his press conference and unleashed sanctions that really won't stop Putin. The next year, in 2015, Putin began building a pipeline called Nord Stream 2, designed to circumvent Ukraine so he could march into Ukraine and not risk getting his gas to market. Well, you could just not allow him to sell it. Seems like a pretty strong deterrent. This all feels very fake to me. The United States is doing sanctions, but that's not going to stop Putin. You know, Russia is receiving some very, very strong downward turns due to the various sanctions. The real victims of Russia v. Ukraine are not the people being indiscriminately carpet exploded in the suburbs of Ukraine. It's not them. It's actually whores. No, that's a Norm Macdonald joke. It's the women of OnlyFans. That, of course, is what Rolling Stone is most concerned about. And their tweet has some hilarious responses. And before we get into that, just a super quick word from this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access. I get it. These are just civilians. They shouldn't be punished because their leader is doing something that they probably don't even agree with. But we're here to have a little bit of fun, okay? And I think that you can understand that. Like, literally read the room. Here's War brought to you by Applebee's. Check this out.
And a little bit of chicken fried.
That is not a meme cut. That really happened on live TV. While air raid sirens are going off, CNN cut to a commercial for Applebee's. Now, before I get to probably the worst take, you're going to want to stick around for this one because it is by far the most amazingly terrible take yet. I just want to give you a quick word from this video sponsor, Meta PCs. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, the Ghost of Kiev, the Miss Ukraine, as well as the Brave Soldiers, are all fake. Like, all of them are fake in some major way, shape, or form. It's actually sad. I fell for it. I'm going to correct the record because that's what you do. Right after a quick word from important channel sponsor, Meta PCs. Huge shout out to this video sponsor. People say, oh, you're profiting off of this. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to deny that. But this is just what I do. I hope you were informed by this video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.